Hi. Right, so my name is Geoff. I'm a 37-year-old living in the Papanui ward. My submission is actually going to pretty much echo what George said. To add to what was said on the water rates charges, it's something that we've seen working and reducing water use already. So I really can't understand why we would, then raise the average daily allowance to 900. To me, that just seems to be going backwards. And in regards to the wheels to wings and in fact all major cycleways, I don't want to see any of them deferred. We are in a climate emergency. We need to be acting on that. Cycleways are a way to do that. And everybody should have the right to get where they're going in a safe and efficient manner, whether that's by bike, by foot, in a car, public transport, whatever it is. And the wheels to wings especially, but other major cycle routes are a great way to facilitate that. So, keep short and sweet. So, thank you.
Very short and sweet. That leaves us plenty of time for questions.
Yep.
Melanie.
Have you talked to your local councillor about your views?
I have not actually. I do need to.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I think she's on Zoom, but whether she's listening. Yeah. Yanni.
I am on Zoom, thank you, and I am listening and noting.
Thanks, Victoria.
Thanks. I was just wondering, did you support the previous comment too around the water charges of trying to provide incentives for people to look at rainwater capture and reuse, greywater reuse?
Yeah, I would agree with that, absolutely. And even in my written submission, I actually put, although currently we're on a shared meter, so not being charged, but we're a small two-person household. Potentially if the bureaucracy of administering it wasn't too high, I would even be in favour of households such as myself having a smaller water charge, because we don't need 700 litres a day, and
right. Can we just ask? I mean, like the rainwater stuff just keeps coming up. Can we get an action to get stuff done on that? I don't know what we're making an action list of things, but it would be good to get some information around that if we can.
But haven't we brought this up? Are you talking about water conservation through rain tanks and?
It's incentivising people, because a lot of people are doing it, they're trying to do it, but it's incentivising to collect rainwater and reuse it for whatever, or greywater reuse. So there's a number of things we could be doing as a city.
So what are you asking for? Some investigative work done on that, or?
Yeah, how we could look at it in relation to the excess water charges to provide a kind of carrot for people to, save water.
Right. What's the feeling around the table on that? People want.
I'm in agreement.
I get asked all the time what council's doing to encourage collecting things like rainwater, and so some information would be useful. I get asked all the time. I imagine others do.
I get asked all the time as well.
Well, there's clear directives there to at least get some advice and some information on how we might be able to pick that up as an action. And Kelly, did you have a question?
Yeah. Thank you, Geoffrey. Can you just talk a little bit about your personal cycling experience from where you live to where you go to, and how that works for you and what you're seeing out there?
Yeah, so I would class myself as a very confident cyclist. So we're a one-car household. Both my partner and I bike as our primary means of transport. And yeah, I find the major cycle routes as they are already to be very pleasant to cycle on. I find the 30-kilometre lower speed zones to be very good to cycle on. And yeah, there's very few places that I don't feel comfortable. Harewood Road is one of those places. I do still bike down there from time to time because it is on my way to work. So I work in Hornby, so it's one route that I can take. And yeah, basically it's typical of the sort of road, Harewood Road, Blenheim Road, those large roads with 2 lanes and very little space for cyclists are kind of pretty much the only place that I personally feel uncomfortable. In saying that, I shouldn't be the target for these cycleways. It should be to get more people out on their bikes and encourage those who don't have the confidence that I do.
That's great. And look at that for timing, being on. Thank you so much for coming in.
Cool. Thank you.
Take care out there. I hope you on a cycleway. All right, so we've got